Okay, the last button on the screen that we haven't covered is the reports button. We're going to click on reports. You can grab any one of these weeks, or you can highlight and grab multiple weeks, as many as you want. Obviously, the more weeks you grab, the longer that report's going to take to run. So you want to make sure that you need that. If I'm going to go into 1 week, it's always going to take about the same amount of time if you're processing a week of payroll. We have a bunch of different reports in this report book. All these report tabs at the top tell us a little bit, break the reports out in a little bit more detail. If I want to look at an employee list, or I want to look at my adjusted punches or override reports, I can go into the overrides tab. We keep track and audit trail of every adjustment that's made in TimePro to an employee's time card. We allow you to see exactly what's going on with that information, so that if I made an adjustment to a time card, I can see what was made, who made it, and if you require notes, we can even put in there exactly why you made that change. This is real important to ensure that when you're looking at something in a time card, that you have an explanation as to why you made that change. I deleted a line, you could put in a reason code, or I changed the end time. I could say who, the employee, the manager that actually did the change, when they made the change, what they changed from and to, and then if you put a note in there, you can actually see the note and the reason why they made that change. We also have attempted punches, so if an employee tries to punch in and they can't for whatever reason, they'll be on the attempted punch report. So if you called somebody in and you didn't change their schedule, they're going to go to the time clock and try to clock in. It's going to say you're not scheduled to go see a manager. Well, if that's the case, you can run this report and you can see exactly when they attempted to punch in, and at that point you know exactly what time you want to start paying them from. You'll have to manually go in, oh, I don't have anything in there, but you'd have to manually go into the time card and then put that time in there for the time that they attempted to punch in. That really comes in handy when you're doing a quick call in and forgot to change the schedule. You'll at least know. So make sure that they always attempt to punch in, even if they can't. You'll always see those attempted punches and the reason why they couldn't. The total hours just breaks it down in many different ways. All these reports are custom reports that we create for the user. We start you off with a canned set of reports. If you don't like the way that report works, you just let us know and we'll modify these reports. We can change easily, sort orders, paid breaks. We can add fields and do all kinds of things in these reports, as you can see. And we break it down in different dates and times, and you can easily, every report comes up on the screen. You can easily scroll to a specific person, or you can go down into the time card. You can look at a different job. So you can see that. You can search for somebody, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. They all work the same way. Once they come up on the screen, it's how you want to look at that report. You could also print the report. You could export the report in a PDF or in a Excel spreadsheet, or any number of methods that you want to export the data. Okay, and then you could also email this information as well. So you could scroll through each report, you could print it or if you just want to view it and then exit out and you're done. So you can go into the actual versus schedule reports. We have a number of different reports here. The actual plus remaining schedule is a handy report. When you're ready to process payroll, you simply go to the payroll button, hit the payroll exception report, run a summary of your payroll, hit the export to Valiant. It creates a file that you can then go right into the Valiant payroll software and import that file up, and then you'll be able to view that in the Valiant payroll, make any changes to it prior to processing your payroll, and you're good to go.